Alright everybody, we got a 2001 Ford Escape. This transmission is a CD4E, and this is an over-the-counter or carry-out unit, and this had no fault from what they told me. So we're going to open this up and see what we find. Common problem with this is the drum blows due to high pressure, and also this CD4E gets a shift kit installed to correct that if that is the problem. So we're going to open this up, see what we find. Alright, we have your couple of things. We have your input speed sensor right here. This is your transmission range sensor. When this pan comes down, which will expose the valve body, you're going to have a solenoid pack there. Here is the connector for the solenoid pack. And you would have an output speed sensor right here, but he had taken that out already. And I guess that's about it. So let's open this and see what we find. So the way that I open these transmissions is I'm going to take the outside stuff off first, and then I'm going to take the bolts out of the pump and then spin it around and take the start taking the front from the front, and then we'll knock the pump out from the inside. Alright, so let's start with taking the outside. Alright, first the range sensor. It's just a vent. Alrighty. Next we'll do the input speed sensor. Alright, that's a little tight. So, see if we can break that loose. Okay. See how easy this is going to come out. It's coming. I'm going to try to get this out because I don't want to break anything. Okay. Alright. That's the input speed sensor. Alright, now I'm going to remove this line. Let me just prop this thing up so we can get a little room. Okay, so we got a T40. Okay, and then we'll get the rest of the line out. Move this aside. Alright, now we're going to take the pump bolts out. And then we're going to spin it around and take the valve housing off. Okay, so we'll get rid of this block of wood. I don't know how easy this is going to come out, but sometimes these things are in there pretty good. Okay, all right, here's your pump drive shaft. One end goes into the pump, the other end goes into the torque converter. And we'll start by taking all the bolts out around the outside. Okay. All right, so we've got all these bolts out. So now we're going to flip this thing up. Okay, then we get my big screwdriver here. Probably need a hammer. Let's see if we can pop this top. Stuck on a dowel here. Get it off the dowel. Okay. Get it over here again. Alright, here's the front section. We have a washer right here. Here is your ring gear, which I normally just leave this here. And this is a, I guess like a lube tube. I'm going to pull that out in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to put this belt housing aside. Alright, so here is your differential. You have a washer and a bearing. And then this piece is just going to come out. Okay, we'll put this aside. Now we have your main and drive gears. And this is just a pretty much a cover. So this top portion of this cover is just going to snap right out. And that's that. Okay, here is your chain and your drive gears. You got a washer here, I'm sorry, a bearing here. That goes just like that. And then these are going to slide right out. Right, you got a bushing here that goes bad a lot, so I changed this bushing on every overhaul. It kind of also is there for the axle, it keeps the axle steady. And you want to inspect your final drive sun gear, make sure that's good. And you have another bearing here. Alright, here is your chain. These chains are usually pretty good. They don't go bad much. This is the ring gear on the inside for the main planet. Got another bearing here. And then this piece is just going to slide right out. That's it. That's the other part for the chain cover. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is pull this out here. Here is also a sun gear. This here looks a little beat up, so looks like we're going to have something busted up in here. Okay, you got a bearing. Alright, here's a ring gear, another bearing. So this ring gear is going to sit right inside. Here is your planetary. This is a 4-pinion planet. This looks in good shape. Okay, here is your forward. Here is another bearing. This bearing goes right in here like that. This is your forward sprag. Just like anything else, turns one way and locks the other. This looks alright. I'm going to pull out the shaft. Also has a bearing right here. Okay, and I can actually see the problem. I'm going to pull the drum out. That's kind of what I figured had happened. Just give me one sec. Okay. This is all one piece. Alright, here is a piece of the snap ring. Alright, this whole drum is blown up here. I'm going to pull this apart, but this whole drum here is the snap ring. It looks like the whole top blew off the drum. And this is usually due to pressure. These don't have like anything to blow the pressure off, so when you install a shift kit, that particular part gets installed, as well as the pressure regulator bore likes to wear. So it has the potential to produce a lot of pressure, and that's what happens if it blows the drum out. Okay, so let's take this. There's a snap ring. Let's see. Just gotta find where the end of it is. Alright, got a different scribe now. You can get in there. Okay, here's the snap ring. All right, now we're going to take, this is the hub for the reverse clutch. And when this goes back together, you're going to line these little slots up here with the lube holes to keep the bushing, to get the proper lube. Here is the reverse drum. Let's open that, check those clutches. He's looking in pretty good shape. There's only 2 of them. Also takes a molded piston. So we'll put this aside. Alright, here is the hub that drives the direct clutches. So I want to get this washer out. There's a 4-tab washer in here that likes to break all the time. And this one actually did not break. Alright, on this side we have your direct clutches. These are going to be changed or a little scored up. But they're not that bad, but they will be changed. Okay, now this drum, of course, is blown. Here's a better shot of it. You can see the top of this drum is completely busted right off. See the difference in the height right here? So this snap ring is going to come right off. But this happens due to high pressure. Alright, so there is what's left of the snap ring. So I'm going to have to get one of those. Alright, the forward clutches, of course, in steels. Nothing left of them. Completely small. Pressure plate is good. So when I get to do this shift kit, I'm probably going to film that as well, installing the shift kit. These are the posts. Okay, these also, a little burnt, but not too bad. They're going to be changed as well. All right. And this is the double drum, which is going to be changed. So again, this is your direct side, and the side with 2 sets of clutches is coast on the bottom and forward on the top. Okay. Now the next thing, we'll take this big snap ring out. There's this linkage arm is in the way. So we're going to take the cover down, take the valve body out, remove that. But let's see if we can get those low reverse frictions out. Okay, here's like the cover. Now you got a big low reverse brake here. Okay, you know that's not going to come out. Let's see if we can take it loose. Okay. Alright, so you want to make sure this goes back the same way, so we're just going to put it, stack it up just as it comes out. And then you have the wave steel. And then you have your low and reverse clutch pack. These are big frictions. They're usually pretty good. These actually have, if you look closely at them, I'm looking closely, it's got some metal embedded in them, so they're going to be changed. There's that. We're going to leave that just like this. Okay. Now we're going to take this cover off. This is a vent. On earlier ones, they had a short vent on it, and what happens is the solenoid pack is right here. And I believe from the solenoid pack working, it was applying and the solenoids, the oil actually was coming out of the vent. So they actually made a kit to extend the vent, and this is probably about right. It was a whole kit to extend the vent with a thing in the top, and it anchors on where the battery is to keep the oil from coming out of the vent. So that was actually, on the earlier ones, that was actually a kit you can buy from Ford. And that was the fix for the oil coming out of the vent, was to extend the vent tube. Okay. Well, these are going to be a little tight, so I guess not. Let's use this one. This transmission, the filter, which is right here, is internal, so you can't even change the filter. If you wanted to service this transmission, all you can do is drain it and refill it. Here is the cover, side cover. We'll get rid of this one. And here's the solenoid pack, and so I guess as these solenoids turn on and off, they probably would shoot oil out the vent. And again, the fix was to extend the vent. Okay, so the first thing we got to do before we get the valve body off is we got to unbolt the solenoid pack and just flip it up. Get it out of the way, and then we're going to take the valve body off and then take the solenoid pack out. Alright, we flip this up. Now you see there is a screen here, and this screen can go on, it can go on the correct way, and it can go on the incorrect way. And if you put it on the incorrect way, when you go for reverse, you will have no reverse. So you got to be careful at how that goes on. There is I go by this one here, and that one is going to go right around here. kind of the same shape. That's how that's how I personally tell if that is on correctly. Okay, so let's get rid of this. All right, now we're going to take all the bolts out except for probably about 2 or 3 of them. Okay. And this will come right out. This is your valve body. And again, when this goes back, this will get a shift kit to address the high pressure problem. All right, you have a little hook right here, and I don't want to lose this thing in the machine, so I swing it around to where the keyway is, and then slide that right out. Okay, now we can pop that linkage piece out. That's this. This can go in either way when you put it back together. All right, now since we got that out, we're going to push these tabs in. And get the solenoid pack out. This one's in there pretty good. Spray that up, get that in a few minutes. Okay, so what I want to get now is the low reverse piston. Where that snap ring is. I don't know, I can't even see the end of it. Let's see. Okay. Okay, here's the snap ring for the low reverse piston. Here's the return springs. And the piston. You actually need special tools to install the pistons, the molded pistons, these pistons. You need special tools to install them. All right, I don't want to ruin this thing, so I'm gonna have to try to get this thing out. Normally these things come right out. Okay, that side moved. Here we go. Okay, both tabs are intact. This is the solenoid pack. They're usually pretty good. They don't go bad too often. I think I had, I know I had one of them actually with a shorted solenoid that went bad. Okay, so we got all the bolts, so let's try to knock this pump out. I'm hoping this thing's gonna come out fairly easy. Looks like it moved a little bit. working this thing around, probably took me about a half an hour, and couldn't really put a slide hammer on it because it's broken here. So, but you can see in this case, and let me just get the band out of here. It's a 2nd and 4th band. All this buildup, all in here, this is all got to be cleaned up. You know, I sand it out, I scrape it out with a razor blade. But that pump was in there pretty good. Even on the pump, I use it on the go on the wire wheel and clean it all up around here. Pretty common, that always happens. Okay, so let's open up this pump and see how that looks. Let me find my 30. Okay. Okay, here is the gasket. There is the support. Here is the pump gasket. Here is the pump plate. Pump O-ring. Alright, and here is the piece that this drive goes into to turn the pump gears. Looks like that, and then the drive goes in here. Okay, the drive goes in here, like that, and it turns the pump gears. And here are the pump gears. That's where that drive sits, right in here. Now we'll get rid of this gasket. Alright, I got a couple more frozen items on this thing I got to try to get out, which is probably going to take a while, so I'm just going to pause the camera, let it soak in. You got a servo right here with a snap ring, and I can't even move this snap ring yet. So I'm going to let that soak, and then we'll see if we can get that out, and be back. Okay, so I soaked this for a while. I got the snap ring moving, so that should be able to come right out. Also, while I was waiting, I knocked the filter out, so let me just show you the filter. This is your filter. Okay, and right in here is one of the seals. Goes like that, so you put the filter in place. Okay, the filter has another seal right here. So you put this in place, push that down, and then once that's in place, you put this seal in, and then you kind of bang that in with a bushing driver. And that's the filter. Alright, so, where are we now? Okay, so I should be able to squeeze this now and get this right out. Okay, Here is the very rusted snap ring. So let's see how easy this is. Okay, here's this small hammer to knock it back, and I actually can't believe it came out. Here is the cover for the servo. Here's the servo piston itself. There are different lengths. Here's the spring. Okay, the spring is going to go like that, so the flat part is going to sit against the case. And this servo piston, you can see there's one groove, and you go, there's I think there's two, might be two grooves and no grooves. So there's three different lengths on those. Okay, so this is the CD4E, and we had found this double drum, pretty common problem, was blown apart, and this usually happens due to high pressure. These CD4Es don't have a pressure blow-off valve, which gets installed when you put the TransGo shift kit in. Great kit. I do it on every one of them to correct that problem. It also addresses the regulator valve, gets worn out, and a few other issues. And that's about it on this one. So we're going to clean this up. I got some parts coming, and we'll put this together, and I'm going to probably film the shift kit installation. That takes about takes a little while to do. It's a pretty big deal. Maybe could take up to an hour to do that kit. So that's about it, guys. I appreciate you watching, and have a great day.